What's happening, folks? I'm Andy, ElectricGeek, and in this video we're just going to batter through everything that I was lucky enough to be gifted or receive from Santa at Christmas there. I was pretty lucky and I got a decent haul, so stick around, we'll be jumping into it just shortly. So I was really fortunate this Christmas and I've came away with 8 new 4K titles, one of which is a trilogy, and we'll just start with that first. So first up, I was gifted from my mum and dad the Lord of the Rings trilogy in 4K. Now I know this is kind of old news, it came out in 2020, and I think it was a little bit controversial. Some people love it. The Lord of the Rings films have never really done anything for me. I appreciated them at the time, I watched them all in the cinema, and I remember Return of the King being particularly epic and was the one that I kind of enjoyed the most. My brother was right into them. We used to have them in those big massive like Bible-sized extended edition DVD box sets that came out, and I've just never owned them since because they weren't films that I revisited. But with Rings of Power came out on Amazon, I wanted to watch that, but I thought I can't really watch that unless I familiarise myself with the movies. So I seen this was 44 quid on Amazon. So if you don't have it, check it out, because I thought that was a fantastic deal for these if they're still doing that. Told my mum, or put it in my letter to Santa, that I was after this, and fortunately on Christmas morning, this is what I unwrapped from her. So I've only watched the first one, and because I haven't seen them in ages, I just wanted to watch the theatrical cuts. I have seen the extendeds years ago, but I just wanted to watch the theatricals initially here, and I have to say I was very, very impressed with Fellowship of the Ring, and I really enjoyed it. Like, I don't know why I've always had this opinion that I don't really like the Lord of the Rings films, because I sat glued to it. Maybe it's because the transfer was so good. The Atmos is fantastic. I can't really remember what it sounded like in the DVD. I didn't have a home theatre system then, but I was really impressed with the Atmos, given these are like 20 years old, and the picture quality is fantastic. There's maybe evidence of a little bit of overuse of DNR, I would say. I'm not sure if that's what the complaints were. I haven't really seen any reviews for them, but it doesn't bother me. I don't mind if it's a little bit clean looking as opposed to grainy. I thought it still looked very filmic, and I just thought the picture quality was fantastic on it. But yeah, that's the Lord of the Rings, and I'm really looking forward to checking out the other two. It's not the sexiest packaging, I have to say, but for 44 quid and getting it as a Christmas present, you can't grumble at all. The other movie that I got on Christmas Day, and it was from my brother, was Quentin Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs. Really chuffed with this one, actually. I was on the fence because I've heard fantastic things about it. I did pick up Pulp Fiction, and I kind of semi-reviewed that on the channel, and I was really impressed with Pulp Fiction, and apparently Reservoir Dogs is even more of an upgrade over its Blu-ray than Pulp Fiction was. And because the rights for this are with Lionsgate, you get the fantastic Lionsgate steelbook. So if I hold up to camera, you'll see as you slide the slip off, so does the cop's ear go. And then the blood stains form the kind of classic poster art of all the gangsters walking down the street, that classic Reservoir Dogs shot. But yeah, really nice steelbook this, as you can see. Nice wraparound design. And what's great about Lionsgate is they always do their own kind of unique artwork. They don't just stick in the same artwork that's on like the vanilla edition. Albeit I appreciate there isn't a vanilla edition of Reservoir Dogs yet, but there will be no doubt in the future. But yeah, really chuffed with that and looking forward to watching it. That was a cracking Christmas present from my brother. So after that, I did have a bit of cash that was gifted to me from family and whatnot as well. So I always say that I'll spend it on other stuff, but I end up always like spending the majority of it on 4K Blu-rays. I go into HMV and I get carried away. I did buy this hoodie that I'm wearing right enough, so it didn't all go in 4K Blu-rays. But yeah, I'll just kind of go in the order I picked them up in. So I'm a massive Bowie fan, and I'm actually recording this on the day of the late great David Bowie's birthday. I missed this at the cinema and I bought it on Blu-ray. So it's Moonage Daydream. So this is from Brett Morgan, and it's the only movie after David Bowie's passing that's had the kind of full blessing of the Bowie family. So all the songs are licensed and whatnot, unlike that movie Stardust that they made without their blessing, and there's no actual Bowie songs in it. I've not seen it, but I can only imagine how much of a car crash that must be without there actually being any Bowie music in it, which is a shame for the cast involved, but I digress. But I can thoroughly recommend Moonage Daydream, even if you're not a Bowie fan. But if you're a Bowie fan, this is an absolute must-have. There's nothing on it in the way of kind of special features, really. It's just the movie itself, and it really is an experience. It's a docu-film, and there's a lot of unseen footage. I've got quite a lot of David Bowie documentaries on DVD that I've kind of picked up over the years, and loads of the footage in this I'd never seen before. You know, footage of Bowie throughout the years, behind the scenes and whatnot, and the arrangements of the songs and the way they kind of cut them together and the imagery on screen is fantastic. It's also got Dolby Atmos, and it's very, very encapsulating, and it truly is an experience. It's an experience for Bowie fans not to miss. So can thoroughly recommend Moonage Daydream. Sorry, I should have said that was from HMV and Air. And HMV and Air were also doing, it was a kind of 1 week only thing where you could pick up Bullet Train on 4K for $12.49 with any other purchase. So I was gutted because I couldn't find it anywhere, and I thought I'll go up to the counter and I'll just ask. But I had a good look and I didn't think there was one. I was hoping maybe there was one backstage. So God bless him, the wee dude in the HMV went out and kind of looked all around the shop, and I thought it was all going to be in vain, but lo and behold, they came back with the only copy they had. So I was well chuffed. So I thought this was a great price to get that for, half price basically, $12.49. It was a blind buy for me. Directed by David Leitch, who was a fight choreographer, second unit director I think, turned filmmaker. He had a lot to do with the John Wick movies. Previously directed Atomic Blonde, which I've just watched and really enjoyed also. But yeah, I can recommend Bullet Train. Great ensemble cast. Just loads of fun. Great looking, loads of vibrant colour. Nice Atmos track on it, and it's just a fun film, an entertaining 2 hours. Mental, like crazy over the top action, but really enjoyable, and I can definitely recommend it, especially for $12.49. Sadly, I don't think you can get it for that price anymore, but I'm glad I did. So a few days ago, with the remainder of my Christmas money, I went up to Braehead Shopping Centre in Glasgow, which is about a 50-minute drive from where I stay in Ayr in Scotland, and I picked up some more bargains from the HMV in there. It's not one I go to very often, and I had like a whole extra stand of 4K, so I was licking my lips when I went in there, as you can imagine. So first up, in the 2 for $30 that they do, I got Jordan Peele's Nope. Now I've seen this in IMAX in the cinema, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I like all of Jordan Peele's movies. I was kind of late to the party with them. Watched them in quick succession before going to see Nope, because it was in IMAX, and I'll need to watch it again. I kind of thought this is the best spectacle out of the 3 of them, probably the biggest budget, but I wasn't sure if it's the one I enjoyed the most as a movie, but I'll hold off on that judgment until I watch this again. But yeah, this was shot using 70mm IMAX, and it's got switching aspect ratios, and I remember being totally blown away with the kind of final act, the third act of this movie in the IMAX theatre. So I'm really hoping that the 4K Blu-ray will do it justice, and I'm looking forward to watching it again. The wife hasn't seen this one, and I know she's interested, so we'll definitely be watching this in the home cinema room. But yeah, that's Jordan Peele's Nope. You can see in the front, it's also got over 1 hour of special features, and it's got, I think it's a 55-minute making of with Jordan Peele. I have Us on Blu-ray, I don't have Get Out yet, and the special features on that were great. I really enjoy listening to Jordan Peele, and I think there's so many layers in his movies that, you know, watching his documentaries are good because he kind of reveals what all the inspiration for that was, and he kind of explains all the kind of themes and sub-themes that are in the movie. So I'm really looking forward to watching the documentary just as much as I am revisiting the film. So that was Nope. Next up, in the 2 for $30 was one I've been chasing for a while, being a big Tom Cruise fan, and that is War of the Worlds on 4K. This is a film that never drops in price. Usually, especially older ones, usually find them on Amazon for $11.99 at some point, kind of flash sales or whatnot, but for some reason War of the Worlds kind of holds its price, and it really jumps into the kind of the multi-buy deals. It seems to sit separate at like 20 quid or 25 quid. So I thought, now's the time. It was in the 2 for $30. I thought 15 quid's probably about the cheapest I'm going to get this new. Haven't seen it for years, had it in DVD years ago, missed it on Blu-ray. So really looking forward to checking it out. I watched Minority Report recently. I wish we could get a 4K Blu-ray of that, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to following it up with the second Spielberg-Cruise collaboration and seeing what this looks like in 4K. So that's War of the Worlds. Next 2 films are part of their 2 for $24. I think it's the Disney Fox Studios kind of deal that seems to be across everywhere, HMV, Zavi, Amazon, whatnot. This is another one that I've been after for a while because I've heard the soundtrack on it is fantastic in Atmos, and that's David Ayer's Fury. There's been one in my local Ayr for ages, but they've only got one copy, and the slipcover looks like a Doug's had it. It's all chewed up, so I always have to pass up on it even when it's in the deals. However, thankfully when I went up to HMV in Braehead, they had 2 copies and they were still in the shrink wrap and immaculate, so I thought, right, now's the time. I'm getting Fury for 12 quid. That's a good price. So not watched it yet, as you can see, still in the shrink wrap, but definitely looking forward to checking out the Atmos on this one. And then lastly, this is another one that's been on the radar for a while, and I've always been reluctant because it's on Disney Plus. with all the bells and whistles, you know, Dolby Vision and all that. I think Atmos as well. So I've kind of been reluctant to spend money on it, I think, because I haven't seen it. It's the only one I haven't seen that I've picked up. And it was kind of inspired by my recent watching of Avatar: The Way of Water and James Cameron. And that is Alita: Battle Angel. Now this is a Robert Rodriguez movie, but it is, as you can see on the cover there, from the producers of Avatar. So James Cameron, I think, gave it his blessing. I'm not sure how involved he was. But I've heard nothing but good things about this film. I don't think it did particularly well. And I don't think it's getting a sequel or anything like that. I know it's based on a Japanese anime movie, or Japanese anime IP. But what a cast, you know, Christoph Waltz, Mahershala Ali, Jennifer Connelly. Can't remember the girl that did the mocap for Alita. But yeah, good cast. Robert Rodriguez with a massive budget, going down the kind of sci-fi route, which is kind of unusual for him. So looking forward to checking it out. But what made me kind of get it in physical and not just check out Disney Plus was the fact that it had the Blu-ray 3D. Because I am thinking about moving to a projector in the future. So I'm stockpiling 3D because I would like to check out 3D movies again using like passive technology, passive glasses with a projector. So I thought, yeah, I'll just get it, and I've got a funny feeling I'm going to enjoy it. So really looking forward to checking out Alita: Battle Angel, and if you've seen it, let me know what you think in the comments. But that was everything. That's everything that I've added to the collection recently. I've been lucky enough to be gifted, or you know, bought with money that I was gifted. So that's kind of everything there. I think it's a pretty good haul. You can let me know in the comments what you think of it, but more importantly, what did you get yourself? Were you fortunate enough to be gifted some 4Ks? Maybe you got a new TV, maybe you got a 4K Blu-ray player. But I'm just as excited to find out what you guys got for your Christmas and what you maybe got with some Christmas money. So please hit up the comments and let me know. The next video you can expect to see is one that's been delayed. I teased it earlier on towards the end of the year, and then due to sickness I couldn't get around to making it, but it's going to be ultimately an unboxing of this new Film Vault edition of Blade Runner. Blade Runner is my favourite movie. I'm a bit late to the party because it got delivered late and then I was ill. I appreciate loads of other YouTubers have covered it, so you might already have seen an unboxing, or you might have it yourself. But just to mix it up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it as a bit of a versus. So I'm going to do it as a comparison. I'm going to unbox my Titans Occult Blade Runner Collector's Edition and this, and give you my opinion on, if you haven't got them, which one you should prioritise, just to make it a bit different. But you can expect to see that video in the near future. And there'll also be a special shout in it to rayBaz, who I've been chatting to on Instagram, and he's very kindly lending me some pictures of a special collector's edition Blade Runner he has, which will feature in the video. So Baz, your collection is going to have its moment on the channel, I can assure you, pal. But stay tuned and you'll see that video in the future. But until then, take care, take it easy, and I'll catch you in the next video.